everybody, welcome to another brand new episode of Tech That Doesn't Bite.
Yeah, all right.
I'm
Woo!
Simon C, and joining me, of course, is
Jeff Worden, thank you very much for joining us for another episode of Tech That Doesn't Bite, the podcast that reviews everyday tech and stuff we hear from you about. We definitely want to review stuff you use, so tell us more.
absolutely. But today we want to reminisce on one of the operating system that's been around for quite a while. People are still using it. People are still gonna use it for quite some time now, and we are talking about Windows 7 in 2020.
Oh my God, Windows 7. As you could probably guess, I still use it myself, and it's for me personally, it's very stable. It does what I need it to do. It doesn't give me a lot of grief, as far as I could tell, even though I know it's not supported anymore.
For those to our audience who's not a Windows user or are a Windows user, you are aware that Windows 7 support ended on January 14 of this year, 2020. So no more security updates, and pretty much you're on your own, man. Yeah, but Jeff, how has it been for you? You're not. I mean, you're obviously not getting any new Windows update notification, and
right.
Have you had any problems installing new applications? You know, what's the experience?
For the most part, well, the experience for me is pretty much been non-problematic so far. That's probably the best way I could describe it. I haven't had any issues with having to get updates. I mean, obviously it isn't updating for me anymore. When I look for a program, I do have to make sure that it will work for Windows 7 or Windows 8. It's roughly in the same area there. But for the most part, it has not been an issue. This invariably, I'm sure, will change probably within this year, if not the next year, I'm sure, when frankly nobody's going to have it. And I would imagine a lot, if not all the software is going to move to Windows 10 and beyond that. So obviously, I'm setting myself up for failure in a lot of ways, but right now it's working well. I don't have any issues with it. Go ahead, laugh it up. I don't care. But it's working well for me so far. So I have not had any issues with it, which is good. So, you don't need to fix what isn't broken, but it's not supported, so it's gonna break it.
Isn't it kind of a blessing in disguise? You don't get those Windows update notifications.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I would get them, but I set it so that it would just say, "Hey, you've got an update," as opposed to, "Hey, go ahead and automatically update it, interrupt everything you're doing, just so you can update Windows, which will update and then reboot your computer, and then maybe it'll reboot the computer again just for laughs." And you're like, "Oh my God!" My wife went through a lot of that. Now she's much happier with Windows 10, as are my kids too. So they're all on Windows 10 and fairly pleased with it and have not had any issues with it. But when I've had updates, it's like, okay, hey, we've got these waiting for you. Do you want to do those? So at least I take control of it, update what I want to update, and then just go from there. So that worked out really well for me. And now I don't have to worry about that anymore.
So are you like the last holdout in your household to update to Windows 10?
So far, yes. So far, yes. I don't know if I will update to Windows 10. Like I said, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. It tends to be the way to go. And God forbid if I do update to Windows 10, and my machine is actually a much older machine, if it might not be able to handle it, which I have concerns about. So, now what do I do? Because if there's a problem with going from Windows 7 to Windows 10 and things don't work, or things break in a big way, and God forbid there isn't like a software patch or anything like that for Windows 10, then I'm really screwed. So I'm always a little iffy about doing a really major update of that, which is not to suggest that you shouldn't update for certainly for security purposes. I'll certainly vouch for that, but going to Windows 10 is a big leap, especially from Windows 7 for sure.
Definitely. And how old is your machine?
Oh God, I'm just gonna say 8 years old. I've had it for quite a while. I've had it for quite a while. I've done a memory card, a video card update on it. It actually used to have a dual God, how many gigs did it have? Now I can't remember. It used to have like a dual video card setup and whatnot. When one of them failed, I had to take them both out, but I was able to replace it with a single card with the same amount of video RAM on it, and that worked out really good. And it works like a charm. So that thankfully fixed my problem. So far everything is going pretty good with it right now, which is great. You know, the hardware is managing itself. I try to keep the inside of it clean and free of dust whenever I can get back there and do it. Otherwise the machine's running pretty well.
Do you anticipate any problems down the road in the next year or a few months if you don't upgrade?
Well, if I don't upgrade, I would say no. Probably in 2021, I would bet there are going to be issues that basically a lot of software is going to stop being compatible with Windows 7. Older programs will probably still be out there, so you can still download and use them. Obviously, a lot of the programs I use are certainly Windows 7 compliant. Some are actually as old as Windows 95, 98 compliant. I mean, I've had some of the software for a really long time, but they have also upgraded it to Windows 7 and whatnot, and to Windows 10. So I think I'll be okay if the day comes I have to go to Windows 10. I don't think I'm going to be totally out on overall functionality. This year I'll probably be okay. 2021 may be a tad more problematic, but I'll have to keep you posted about that and go from there. But who knows? Maybe by that time I might need to get a new machine and just go from there. But my machine's running fine right now, so I don't feel the overwhelming urge to go crazy and spend that kind of money to get a brand new machine just yet.
Yeah, I mean, I know for a fact in the Windows world, there are a lot of people still going to be using Windows 7 for quite a while, especially businesses.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, no, well, it's very expensive to upgrade. That's the big one. And so just from a licensing standpoint alone, it's way too much money. And given the economic downturn that we're all have been in for the past couple of months now, it'd be fairly stupid to actually spend that kind of money now. I mean, unless you really have the resources to do it and don't care. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, but Windows 7 is very stable. I have very few issues with it from a stability standpoint. It's very rock solid. It's a real workhorse. I have my machine on all day long, downloading, uploading. I record stuff, send stuff out, still looks like get stuff back.
No, the old Windows, the Windows of the past, not like this new.
The Windows of the past.
It's not like this new Windows 10 or how Windows 8 introduced itself, and it's like this freaking the start menu or start buttons. Like, what the hell is it? It's like it's frustrating.
For me, the interface on Windows 10, just on the surface when I've looked at it through with my wife's and kids' computers, it's just a bunch of boxes. I mean, honestly, I just gotta look at it. I'm like, okay, this is obviously going to be a kind of a bit of a learning curve to get me. I'll get it down eventually when that day comes. But God, it's just going to be a big pain in the fanny. Yeah, I can already see that. But yeah, but Windows 7 looks like pretty much all of its predecessors. There's nothing out of the ordinary about it. You got all your icons, got the start button. Yeah, it's a disk instead of the a word start. But either way, I mean, it still functions as you expected. The interface is just more of a GUI interface change. It's an aesthetic change more than anything else. But it's rock solid. I have zero issues with its functionality so far.
Nice. So, do you recommend anyone that's using Windows 7 right now to upgrade to Windows 10?
Well, that really depends on what they do for work or play. If they're like major tech fanboys, I would probably say they're already going to have upgraded to Windows 10 and go from there. I'm very much about a very wait and see type of setup. I want to see what's going to happen from here on out. I know at some point it's going to happen for me. That goes without saying. I'm not real eager to do it. That's for sure. I
can tell.
So, yes. Yeah. Change is bad. No, I would say it really just depends on what you do for work and recreation. If you find yourself that your software updates are not happening as frequently, or maybe software you use frequently is no longer going to update, like Windows. It's like, we're not going to be supporting Windows 7 anymore. Sorry, you're out of luck. Yeah, then obviously it's going to indicate that you're going to need to upgrade. And that's probably when you're going to want to do it. So take a weekend to yourself and just upgrade your computer and hope to God nothing explodes. It's just, again, it's just been my personal experience with Microsoft products. And again, I'm not dissing them necessarily, but anybody who's played around with Microsoft stuff for as long as I have, yeah, you got a little cynicism about that. And, but, after all these years, you would hope they got their stuff down pretty good. And I'd say for the most part, they do.
Yeah, definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think? Are you going to use Windows 10? Or are you on Windows 10? Or are you like Jeff, stuck in Windows 7 and not planning to upgrade anytime soon?
There's nothing wrong with it, I tell you. Nothing at all.
Yeah. This old timer saying it.
Get off my lawn. Yeah. Get off my lawn.
Yeah, so please leave your comments below. Let us know. Give us your opinions. We definitely will respond as soon as we can. And also, if you guys have any questions or comments, we created a Google form which you guys can submit to. And if, in our future episodes, we'll answer those questions. We'll reply to those comments.
Absolutely. So please do like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We definitely want to hear your feedback on this. If you're an old Windows 7 user like myself and definitely want to stick with it for as long as you possibly can, you're not alone. Or if you want to go to Windows 10, or you've done the change, we definitely want to hear your experience about that. We'd love to hear what kind of feedback or how horrible or how wonderful it went or somewhere in between. Who knows, right?
Yeah, who knows? But looking forward to your comments, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. Definitely want to hear from you.
And until next time, have a great day.
Have a good one, guys. Take care.